Come to you live from the New Canaan High School gym. Ian Nicholas alongside the rest of the NCTV crew for FCIAC Tournament Basketball. It's the round of 16, which would make it seem like March Madness instead of FCIAC Tournament Basketball. But this year, all the teams got into the dance, and the dance is about to begin. This is the first game of the tournament where we have the 5 seed, the New Canaan Rams, 9-3. This is most likely going to be their final home game of the year. And heck, if Norwalk, the 12 seed at 4-8, is looking to pull off the upset of the year, it could be New Canaan's last game of the season for Danny Melzer and his squad. But Brendan, you're our JV basketball analyst. You know this team well. They played Norwalk a week ago on Monday, beat them by 12 on the road. They didn't have Leo Magnus that game. They're not going to have him again today. Why is New Canaan going to win a second time?
Well, the first time these two teams played, they played the game exactly the way Norwalk wanted to play it. A low-scoring defensive affair where both teams really couldn't get a lot of offense going. On their home court, the place where they practice, it's a lot more familiar for them. They got their parents at the game. So they got to get into what they do best, which is running their offense slowly and not being rushed by Norwalk.
And speaking of a guy who can move the offense along, Maddox joining us here tonight on the call for our first 3-man booth of the year, getting all the analysis you could possibly get. A guy who moves the offense really well for New Canaan is Blake Wilson. Although he might not have the ball in his hands all the time, 13.5 points per game over his last 6. He scored double digits in 5 of his last 6. Described by Will Bozzella as a 3-level scorer, really, Blake, the sophomore, he can do it all.
Yeah, had a relatively slow start to the season, but he's really come on now, especially with the absence of Leo Magnus, and he's going to have to continue to do that if they want to stand a chance tonight. Norwalk, they played pretty well. They played Ridgefield really tight last time, and I expect them to do the same tonight.
Yep, Norwalk started the season 3-3, but then dropped 5 of their last 6 to finish the year 4-8, tied in a 4-way tie for the 10th seed. But due to the tiebreaker rules, they finished 12th ahead of McMahon, who will be playing Wilton tonight. And since we have a phenomenal bracket that shows off the FCIAC tournament, let's get a little bit of a sneak peek at the other matchups that we're going to see tonight through our FCIAC tournament bracket. New Canaan on the tougher side of the bracket, as we see here, guys. The 5-12 game, that's what we got, the typical March Madness game. The crazy one is usually the 5-12 game, so hopefully we get a good one tonight. The winner of this game will advance to play the winner of Wilton McMahon, which is going to be another tough challenge for New Canaan if they win. And if Norwalk wins, then, well, heck, they can beat anybody at that point. But the point is, this side of the bracket, Brendan, you have Richfield, you have Wilton, you have New Canaan, and those are 3 of the 4 top teams who could really take it all.
Yeah, and as well as McMahon, who beat New Canaan earlier in the year. I mean, obviously New Canaan was underhanded for that game, missing 6 players for COVID guidelines. But so a lot of inexperienced players played in that game, and they weren't really ready. But second time around, who knows what would happen?
Who knows? We're just about 40 seconds away from the tip-off of this one, and the star player for Norwalk to know is Cam Edwards, number 1, a superstar football player as well in the Norwalk High School football program, over 1,200 total yards and 16 touchdowns as a sophomore, as a superstar running back, receiving threat, an All-FCIAC second-team selection. He can swat the ball off the backboard. He's big. He's physical. And Maddox, when you got a football player out on the hardwood, it makes people, you know, especially at the guard spot, it makes you a tough guard because you can get inside with that strength.
Yeah, Christian Sweeney, he's one of those guys. He's really physical. He can play inside and he can play outside. So it makes him really dynamic and really good.
He's certainly really good. This Norwalk team has played pretty well lately, although they've dropped some games. They've played some tough teams. We're going to turn it over to the PA announcer, Bill Brown, to bring us through the starting lineups in the national anthem for this New Canaan Norwalk FCIAC game. We'll see you shortly.
First for Norwalk High School, number 23, Jake Huffnagel. Number 1, Cam Edwards. Number 4, Jeremiah Simeon. Number 5, Makai Cherry. And number 2 is Anthony Moore. Head coach of the Bears is Matt Whalen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are the starting lineup for the Canaan Rams. Number 5, Jack Gladys. Number 13, Blake Wilson. Number 22, Dennis Mulcahy. Number
We are ready for some FCIAC tournament basketball. The 5 seed, the New Canaan Rams, the 12 seed, the Norwalk Bears. Coach Danny Melzer now in his 5th year here at New Canaan High, still looking to win his first ever FCIAC tournament game as a head coach with the New Canaan Rams, and he'll do it with a new starter in the lineup, Brendan. Jack Laddick, the sophomore shooting guard, is going to start tonight. Leo Magnus still out of the lineup, and Coach Melzer wants a shooter out there.
Well, he's actually not a new starter. As I mentioned previously, there was a period of time where New Canaan was without 6 players due to COVID protocols. Jack Liddick did start 2 games, and he played tremendously against Danbury. And I think he had 12 points in that game.
Norwalk's Jake Huffnagel, a senior captain, wins the tip for the Bears, and Jeremiah Simeon gets it over to Anthony Moore. Simeon to his right, a bit trapped, bounce pass to number 5, Makai Cherry, and there's going to be New Canaan's ball.
And stepped out of bounds, but Cherry had the right idea there. A lot of times if you want to get behind a 2-3 zone, or you want to break a 2-3 zone, you got to get behind them, and that's going to get you to the basket.
New Canaan, continues.
As you mentioned, Norwalk in a 2-3 zone, Norwalk actually in a press, but New Canaan in a 2-3 zone. I haven't seen that a ton this year.
Bozzella, far corner, gets it over to Blake Wilson, the star sophomore, averaging 13.5 points per game over his last 6 games. Mulcahy on the wing. Huffnagel on him, and now over to Laddick in the corner, guarded by the big guard, Cam Edwards. Bozzella looking to reset on Simeon, a minute into quarter number 1. Mulcahy from the baseline, can't get it to go. Rebound will go to Simeon. No scoring so far with 6:50 left in quarter number 1.
And for New Canaan offensively, I really want to see him get inside. They have a major size advantage at every single position, except for outside of Cam Edwards.
Cam Edwards.
But
Edwards can't get the 3 to fall. Fighting for the rebound, can't grab it. Christian Sweeney comes up with it, pushes it up to Will Bozzella. Bozzella looking to attack, picks up the dribble. Kick out Laddick, catch and shoot 3. No good, rebound Boz. Out to Christian Sweeney for the corner 3. He made 4 threes on Saturday, and their loss to Wilton can't make it there as Simeon pushes it up.
Came up empty, but 2 good looks there for the Rams.
Huffnagel loses the ball, and Laddick is there to scoop it up with just over 6 minutes left to go in quarter number 1. Wide open Blake Wilson, you know he's going to shoot. Cannot score, rebound goes to Cherry.
neither team able to get anything going early on.
5:55 left to go in quarter number 1. As Simeon has it on the close wing, gets it to Huffnagel at the foul line. Norwalk averaging just around 49 points per game, a similar mark to New Canaan. Turnover there as Moorer cannot connect with the sophomore Makai Cherry.
And it has been pretty clear what the problems are for both teams here. For Norwalk, it's been turnovers from stepping out of bounds to just losing the ball to errant passes. For New Canaan, it's taking bad shots. That's 3 possessions in a row for New Canaan where they've taken a long shot. They haven't even tried to get inside yet this game.
Bozzella, a little bit too much acceleration. The ball is loose, and Coach Danny Melzer is going to bail him out with the timeout. The first timeout from either team so far in this slow-moving game. It's 0-0. That's not a typo. No scoring so far. 5:32 left to go in quarter number 1.
This is where Norwalk's most comfortable. A low-scoring game. They're not necessarily going to shoot the ball lights out, but if they can hold their opponent to less than 40 points, that's where they thrive.
Yep, Coach Matt Whelan told me yesterday, Maddox, especially in the FCIAC defense, it turns into offense, and not only in transition, but really as the game goes on. If you can play really well on the defensive end, usually it translates to better success on the other end as well.
Yeah, they're switching on every pick, so it's showing a lot of pressure, and when Bozzella had that dribble drive, the defense just collapsed on him, and that's what left 3. They got 3 open looks from 3. They haven't cashed in on any of them.
Both teams' starting lineups stay in the game despite the game being scoreless. 5:32 left to go in the opening quarter as Bozzella holds following the Coach Melzer timeout.
Set up a play here.
Bounce pass to Dennis Mulcahy, and he is fouled. That one is going to be a push on Cam Edwards, his first for the big 6', 195-pound shooting guard.
And one of the keys for Dennis Mulcahy is do not put the ball on the ground, because just keep it above your head and go up with it.
Well, Dennis Mulcahy put the ball on the ground there, could not get the ball into his hands, turning it over. Mulcahy had a big week a few weeks ago with a couple monster games against Staples and Richfield. He's cooled off a bit since, only 4 points in Saturday's 25-point loss on the road of the Wilton Warriors. A bad turnover there as Edwards simply misconnecting with Simeon on the wing. Or excuse me, that was Makai Cherry.
Yeah, Norwalk just shooting themselves in the foot. That was just an unforced turnover there. No real pressure from the Rams.
Amani Edwards, a junior, and Nate Shayer, a senior captain of this Norwalk team, check into the game. Blake Wilson off a smooth feed from Will Bozzella finally breaks this scoreless affair. Timeout from Coach Matt Whelan. 4:43 left to go in the opening quarter. And Maddox, what an awesome pass from Bozzella to Wilson down low.
Yeah, saw it the whole way. Really great cut there by Blake Wilson, and he finished.
Let's get a second look at that one, Brendan. Will Bozzella, we know what he can do as a passer, but really it is kind of crazy what he does on a weekly basis with this kind of stuff.
Well, what else would Norwalk expect running, denying their defenders all game long? 3 minutes in this game, they're already laxing off, and that's why Blake was so open for that cut there.
4:43 left to go in the opening quarter. As back to action here. Tell them to put the score bug up. Never mind. Norwalk looking to get something going as Edwards moves it around to Shayer. Shayer stolen. Christian Sweeney leaping, grabbing the steal. Looking to go coast to coast, and it's going the other way. A charge set up well from Cam Edwards, a guy who Coach Whelan told me last night would take charges, and there's one there.
Yeah, normally a big football guy like him, they're over-eager to go and try and block a shot, but not on that position. He's able to draw a charge, which is a much smarter play.
Cam Edwards is a highlight reel player. He's had multiple games as of late where he's swatted shots off the backboard, so be prepared for more athletic plays from the junior. Simeon on the wing for the 3-ball. Norwalk still scoreless. Fighting for the rebound is Edwards. Can't get the putback to go. Rebound Mulcahy.
A little too much mustard from Edwards there on the glass.
Bozzella on the move. Wilson to Laddick. Laddick for 3 just from outside the Norwalk bench. And the sophomore to sophomore connection converting.
That's why they need Laddick in the game. He's got to step up and hit shots like that one.
Just under 4 minutes left to go in the opening quarter in New Canaan. A 5-0 run in the 5-0 aim. Edwards, a tough take, and he is fouled by Mulcahy, his first.
This has been a problem all year for Dennis. If he gets into foul trouble early in games, that's going to limit his playing time, and he's a big piece for this team, especially on defense and rebounding-wise.
And our first mask break of the game will occur with 3:43 left to go in quarter number 1. New Canaan could surely use Dennis Mulcahy more than ever with Leo Magnus out of the lineup now for his 3rd straight game with a concussion. A second look at that one. As Edwards still looking to get his first points of the game and Norwalk's first points of the game. Norwalk led by 3rd-year head coach Matt Whelan, who has accumulated an 11-41 record so far since coming over from Joel Barlow, where he was the head coach for 6 seasons. A Richfield native he is. Played college basketball at Gettysburg. And that is a short career bio for Matt Whelan, the guy who's looking to turn around the program in the Norwalk Bears. And this is one of the guys who he's looking to turn it around with Cam Edwards. Edwards too strong on the first shot from the line. He'll get a second. Edwards had 12 points in last Monday's game up against New Canaan, which they hosted and lost 40-28. Edwards goes 1 for 2 and breaks the 0 in our score bug for Norwalk. 5-1 your score. Wilson brings it up the timeline, works it over to Christian Sweeney. Mulcahy in the corner. Bozzella already with 1 assist, looking for more. Maddox down low to Mulcahy, looking to go to work. Open 3, Will Bozzella off to the left. The rebound will go to Isaias Gonzalez, who checks into the game for the Bears.
The shot's no good there, but if you have a big man with good passing skills, when he posts up, that opens up a lot of shooters.
Edwards looking to shoot himself, and another shot too strong. Rebound going to Jack Laddick.
Yeah, no matter who matches up with Dennis Mulcahy, he's going to be about a foot taller than anyone on this Norwalk team.
Pass stripped by Cam Edwards, making plays on the defensive end, and knowing he couldn't do anything, Laddick lets Simeon score. Norwalk pulling to within 2 with 2:43 left in the quarter. Another steal for Norwalk. Sweeney stripped. Simeon on the move. Simeon pulls up, comes up way short, batted back in bounds by Edwards to Blake Wilson. Laddick in transition, and he will be fouled by Edwards.
Both these teams are going back and forth up and down the floor, but that's exactly what Norwalk wants to do. They want to run you into the ground. New Canaan's got to slow down and try and run their offense if they want to take control of this game.
Good job of Jack Laddick going right into the chest of the shot blocker. Draws a foul.
2 fouls for Norwalk so far, and they have both been committed by Cam Edwards, and that is huge as he is going to have to bow out. Checking in will be Jake Huffnagel, the senior captain, as well as the junior point guard TK Kitt. Also checking out will be the junior Amani Edwards, number 21. A second look at that foul. As Laddick at the line made his first, and with a good touch, he makes his second. Lead up to 4 with 2:28 left to go in the quarter.
New Canaan staying in the 2-3. This defense is meant to force other teams to shoot, and that's not necessarily Norwalk's strong suit.
On the elbow, it's Huffnagel pivoting. Kitt looking to get inside, splits the defense, down low to Huffnagel, and he scores off the good pass from TK Kitt. 2-point game, 2 minutes left in quarter number 1. Wilson still scoreless, although he does have an assist. He had 10 points on Saturday against Wilton, second on the team. Bozzella down low. Mulcahy can't make the matchup problem worthwhile, missing the shot. Sweeney working. Out to Bozzella. His second 3 is up and not in. Rebound Laddick. Mulcahy, a wide open shot. Another miss for the Rams. And just a tough possession for New Canaan. And a foul is going to go against number 23, Jake Huffnagel. So it's going to be Mulcahy at the line. That was a shooting foul on the senior captain.
And this is where that height advantage just comes in so key. Like, there's nothing Norwalk can do about that. They played great defense. New Canaan wasn't hitting their shots, but Dennis Mulcahy just too big and too strong.
Edwards and Moorer are going to check in for Shayer and Simeon. Shayer, number 0, a usual starter on this Norwalk team, working his way back from a concussion. It's his first game back, and he is slowly being worked back into a rotation off the bench in this FCIAC game. Rebound for Simeon as Mulcahy goes 1 for 2. 8-5, New Canaan 3-point lead. A minute 18 left in the first. Moore to his left, has the open look. Floater doesn't go, rebound Blake Wilson. Wilson with speed. Turning around and getting it to Christian Sweeney. Mulcahy again down low. He's being pounced on and he loses it. Steal from Kitt. Gonzalez gets it to Edwards. Back out to Kitt. 50 seconds left. Gonzalez on the wing. Norwalk are going to slow it down. Big time possession for them. Down low to Edwards. Gets it to go through tough New Canaan defense.
That was the first time they got in the high post today, and it actually paid off for the Bears.
Half a minute left in a low-scoring game. Norwalk looking to pull off a huge upset as the 12 seed here at New Canaan High. Laddick to Bozzella. Bozzella slicing. Kick out Laddick. They're looking to get it to Mulcahy time in and time again, and that's why Mulcahy scores.
When he gets going downhill, no one on Norwalk's going to be able to stop him.
5 seconds left. Norwalk down 3. The pull-up goes in. Anthony Moore with a hero ball bucket in a tied game after 1 at New Canaan High. 10-10. Your score, and even without Cam Edwards, Maddox, for most of that first quarter, maybe not most of it, but he's in early foul trouble. Norwalk's played their best basketball without their star guard.
Yeah, they started knocking down some shots, and they attacked the high post of the 2-3 zone, which we saw in the second to last possession there, which was right where you want to attack a 2-3 zone.
And Brendan, Coach Melzer was looking for a hotter start than over the last few games. They haven't been able to get off to those hot starts without Leo Magnus in the lineup, and they put in Maddox to try to fix those problems. And although he made a positive impact, still not enough for New Canaan to get off to the start they know they can get.
Well, he did score 5 points for the Rams in this first quarter of action, but on defense a couple times he missed some of his gaps, and that led to layups for Norwalk.
Just about to start this second quarter here from the New Canaan High School gym. Ian Nicholas, Brendan Tiscornia, Maddox, Underwood, and the rest of the NCTV crew bringing you this live action from what will most likely be New Canaan's last home game of this year. If they lose, obviously, it will be their last game of the year, period. There is no state tournament this year in a COVID season. And if they win, whoever wins here today is going to have to play the winner of the Wilton-Bryan McMahon game. Griffin Bramwett is the first substitution for New Canaan in this game. He checks in for Dennis Mulcahy. New Canaan going really small ball here.
And against Norwalk, they can. Norwalk does not have a lot of size.
Bozzella for 3. Now 0 for 3 from downtown. He is. Rebound Huffnagel. Moore pushing the pace. He made that 3 to close out the quarter. They couldn't close out on Gonzalez. He misses. Put back Huffnagel. Too easy. He scores.
And that's where you miss Dennis Mulcahy. He's not going to forget to box out Huffnagel on that play right there.
Wilson looking to get things going in a hurry. Comes up short on the runner. Rebound Norwalk. Just under 7:20 left to go in quarter number 2. Pass batted by Bozzella. Stolen by Bozzella. Looking to get it to TK Kitt. Christian Sweeney has a look at the basket. Can't come home with the 3. Rebound Huffnagel.
A lot of short possessions here for the Rams. They probably want to slow it down, take a deep breath.
Moore looking to slow it down, getting it to Huffnagel, top of the key. Now Gonzalez with it. Just under 7 minutes left to go in quarter number 2, and Norwalk with the 2-point lead.
To add off of what Maddox says, these short possessions on offense are letting Norwalk do what exactly what they want to do on offense on their end.
Christian Sweeney now in his own foul trouble. 2 fouls so far for him. That's New Canaan's 3rd. And Dennis Mulcahy is going to check right back into the game. Amani Edwards at the line. He's made his impact so far off the bench, missing his first. And now 2 players for both these teams are in foul trouble. I should say 2 players total. Edwards for Norwalk and Sweeney for New Canaan. Jeremiah Simeon looking to check back in for the Bears as Edwards looks to go 1 for 2, which he does. The lead up to 3.
He'll be taken out of the game in favor of Jeremiah Simeon.
Norwalk 4-8 record this year, as we've mentioned, an 0-6 record against winning teams in the FCIAC. They've played all 5 of the top seeds in the tournament, including Wilton twice, and they played them close. They closed their season with a 3-game losing streak, but played a really close game with Richfield. They only lost by 10 of a number 1 seed in the tournament. And they're looking to pick up their biggest win of the year and their first win of the year against a winning team. Wilson to Mulcahy, comes right off the bench and scores. Back to 1-point game.
And those 2 have to create the offense for New Canaan Knight. Blake Wilson, he's really your best shooter on the floor right now, even though he's not necessarily a shooting specialist. And Dennis Mulcahy, he's able to get down low and score at will.
Back and forth between Kitt and Moore. Huffnagel can't get there. Bozzella another steal. Laddick on the move, finishing with the lefty lay-in. New Canaan retakes the lead by 1 with just under 5:50 left to go in the second.
Good move by Danny Melzer putting Jack Laddick in the starting lineup. He's got half of their points so far.
7 of their 14 good to point out, the sophomore is showing up in postseason play. The 3-ball denied by Griffin Bramlett. TK Kitt with the shot that's blocked. Bozzella on the move. Bozzella, no look past to Mulcahy. 2 shots up, 2 shots no good.
Looked like Coach Melzer wanted a foul there.
Moore with some butterfingers. Oh, and he takes a tough blow as he's going to collide with the scorer's table. A little bit of forward momentum there as he was fighting for the ball with Griffin Bramlett. Bramlett playing some feisty defense, and Moore looks to be all right, luckily.
He's going to stay in the game here, and Norwalk will retain possession.
It's not postseason play. If these two teams aren't giving 150%, the freshman Griffin Bramlett making some defensive plays. Norwalk keeps the ball. Gonzalez airballs a 3. 5 minutes left to go in the second, and that's going to be a kickball violation on Gonzalez. Bozzella with the pass.
And one of the things Will Bozzella does best is he's very patient with the ball, and he just wasn't there on that play. So he's got to slow himself down and not necessarily just sprint down the court with his left hand.
Just under 5 minutes left to go in quarter number 2 for the New Canaan High School gym. In the first game of the FCIAC tournament, both teams looking to advance to the quarterfinals, which will be played on Friday. New Canaan up 1. Bozzella working on Shayer. Mulcahy still trying to get involved and getting it to go down over Simeon.
Dennis has really picked it up in the second quarter. He's attacking the basket, not settling for any jump shots.
Mulcahy, one of the biggest of the big men in the FCIAC. Blake Wilson, one of the big-time players in this league, getting the steal, and then nearly turning it over. Moore fighting for it.
Yeah, Norwalk becoming a little too predictable on offense. Blake Wilson saw that the whole way.
Yeah, they've been running the same offense all night long, so as Maddox said, Blake read it like a book.
4:14 left to go in quarter number 2. Lead up to 3 for New Canaan as Cherry looks to check back in for the Bears. Corner 3 for Will Bozzella, and finally, number 14 gets one to go down.
It's easy to start 0 for 3 and get down on yourself, not shoot, but confidence persists in Will Bozzella, and he knocks down that one right there.
He's a senior captain for a reason. He comes up big, and he has a short-term memory, especially after that 25-point loss. And the ball's going the other way, off of Anthony Moore, out of bounds, and Bozzella again forcing another turnover.
We saw New Canaan open up in that small ball lineup, and ever since then, ever since they put Dennis Mulcahy back in there on a 9-0 run, and get us to our first mass break, it looks like, or a Norwalk timeout.
It will be a mass break with 3:43 left to go in quarter number 2. Maddox mentioning a 9-0 run for the Rams after falling behind 13-10 earlier on in the quarter. Finally looking like the team that can compete for an FCIAC championship. And a team that really earlier this year had a ton of momentum with those wins against Staples and Ridgefield. Their season a bit derailed after the Leo Magnus concussion, and then Brendan another under-the-radar injury. Stephen Panzano, who had 9 points and played some excellent defense in that Monday win against Norwalk last week, battling a knee injury, and he has not returned to the lineup.
Yeah, what he does best is he's someone who can create offense for this team. So those are two guys who can make their own buckets and get by their own man. So now it's really down to, now they're really thinned out when it comes to playmaking ability.
Another thing Panzano did well is he played the top of that 1-3-1, and Coach Melzer made an adjustment, switching up the zone. He's gone to a 2-3 instead of their 1-3-1, which we've seen a lot this season.
Coach Whelan did say how New Canaan's coaching staff does such a phenomenal job of switching up their defenses as Laddick misses for 3. On the move, Cherry, Mackay Cherry, nearly stripped of the ball. Wilson still pestering him, finally stolen. Griffin Bramlett fakes the pass, then dishes it. Blake Wilson, another tough finish inside from the 6'1" sophomore.
Norwalk looking for a travel call there. But no dice.
Great pass of playmaking ability from the freshman Griffin Bramlett to get another assist for him. Cherry bounce pass is stripped away by Mulcahy. Bozzella scoops it up. Wilson, good pass to Laddick. Laddick 3. Can't find the bottom of the net. Another timeout for Norwalk as they trail 8 points with 2:46 left to go in the second quarter. And the run now an 11-0 one for the Rams.
If Norwalk wants to get going, they got to start shooting threes, because this 2-3 defense, what it's meant to do is it's meant to clog the paint. And Norwalk, all they're trying to do really is get in the paint and get shorter buckets.
Yeah, Maddox, Norwalk can't even get into any of their sets right now as Blake Wilson, Dan Mulcahy, Will Bozzella, they are providing the intensity defensively to really stop them before they can even get started.
Yeah, as I've mentioned, they've become a little too predictable offensively, and it looks like Coach Whelan's making a bit of an adjustment. They're going to sub in Cam Edwards, who should hopefully be a difference maker for this Bears team.
Edwards already with 2 early fouls, but you play your best players in these kinds of games regardless of a risk that it might carry to put them back on the floor so early. Will Bozzella mentioning to me that he didn't play much of the first half against Norwalk last week because he was in early foul trouble. And that hurt the Rams as they had a slow game really all game long in that one in their first game without Leo Magnus following the concussion. New Canaan looking to make some noise in the FCIAC tournament. They already made some noise 2 years ago when they won the state championship. Now looking to win their first FCIAC championship since 1969.
How about New Canaan leaning on their young guys? 2 sophomores and a freshman in the game right now.
New Canaan graduates a strong class this year. They got a bright future ahead. Good ball movement from the Bears, and Edwards gets a good look inside and misses. Laddick comes up with it for New Canaan. Wilson pushing it, spinning into a turnover. Edwards finds the ball. Edwards dishes it off to Simeon, and a good connection between those two, junior to junior connection.
That ends the 11-0 New Canaan run that they've had going since just about the start of the second quarter.
Just over 2 minutes left to go now in quarter number 2. 6-point game after the Simeon layup. Wilson to Laddick. Hesitates in the corner. Bramlett to his left, looking to score. And good defense inside from Cam Edwards. Shayer up the near sideline. Huffnagel pull-up 3 for the big man. Off the back iron, good rebound Wilson. Wilson up to Laddick. Slows it down. 1:32 left to go now in this first half. Bramlett to Bozzella, takes a big-time shot and comes up to his right. A little over-aggressive so far in this game, Will Bozzella has been. His lone shot was that 3 ball, but he's gone 1 for 4 on threes, and another miss there on a deep 2. Huffnagel turn around from the elbow. No lucky roll, rebound Bozzella. Just over a minute left in the second quarter, and a foul called on Jeremiah Simeon in transition.
And there's that reliable ball handling that you depend on Will Bozzella to do. Even with a man on his back, he's unfazed by the pressure.
Yeah, there's the experience of Will Bozzella. Knows how to draw the foul, kind of goes into the defender, jerks his head back a little bit. That's going to get you the call.
4 fouls for Norwalk now. Simeon's first, 56 seconds left in the quarter. Mulcahy, pull-up shot from the big man, does not fall, rebound Bozzella. Another chance for New Canaan. Bozzella goes baseline, wide open Blake Wilson. That's a mistake, but he doesn't make it. Great play from Jack Laddick. He's up to 9 points.
Jack Laddick has been in the right place at the right time all night long, and that's why he hasn't even come out of this game.
8-point lead for New Canaan, just under half a minute left in the quarter. Moores made 1 3, can't make a second. Wilson fights for the rebound, gets it.
I'm impressed with these New Canaan guards. They're rebounding it really well between Wilson and Laddick.
Bramlett gets a golden opportunity for a corner 3, and Norwalk doesn't get the rebound.
And even Griffin Bramlett right there, able to extend this New Canaan possession.
3 seconds to get a shot off. Down low to Mulcahy. It gets off in time. It does not go in. An excellent quarter from New Canaan to get back in this ball game. It was a tied game after 1, and outscoring the Norwalk Bears 13-5 in that quarter, gentlemen. And New Canaan definitely looking a lot more like the team we expected them to be heading into this game, Maddox. And really what changed most for New Canaan in that quarter from quarter 1 to quarter 2?
Well, Dennis Mulcahy really got it going downhill. He stopped settling for jumpers, and he started getting into the paint. And he's missed a few of those shots, but he'll look to have a better shooting half in the
And if you're Norwalk, Brendan, you're still in this ball game. You've proven you can play some really good defense and slow the Rams down, but offensively they simply haven't been creative enough. What's your recommendation of the Bears at the half?
Well, like I said, you got to just, against a 2-3 zone, that they're asking you to shoot. So I don't care how many shots you're going to miss. That's what they're giving you, and you got to take it. Life gives you lemons, Ian.
Life gives you lemons. Let's see if Norwalk will shoot that ball more. They certainly look like they should. Cam Edwards, an improved jump shooter this year. And this Norwalk team has improved as the year has gone on, even though their record might not show it. But people who are always constant in our community are our sponsors. Let's go to our sponsors now and give them a little bit of appreciation. Our platinum sponsor, Walter Stewart's, has supported NC Rams athletics in the entire New Canaan community for years. Walter Stewart's is a fresh local market. Thank you to our gold sponsor, Club Sandwich. Club Sandwich is New Canaan's destination for fresh sandwiches since 1986. Thank our silver sponsors, Performance PT, Educational Futures, the SIG Insurance Agencies, OSSM Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine, Renaissance Partners, and Rand Insurance. And lastly, thank you to our black sponsors, Ready Rooster.
Oh boy.
She-la-la, as the cheerleaders have hit the floor and their music blazing in the background. 84 Sports New Canaan, the New Canaan Diner, NC Graphics, the Athletic Shoe Factory, Togs, Dr. Austin Feeney, the Lewis School of Driving, and also Prudit & Company Custom Builders. The NC Rams All Sports Booster Club supports all New Canaan High School athletics. New Canaan looking to advance to the second round of the FCIAC tournament. Danny Mauser looking to win his first FCIAC tournament game since coming to New Canaan High School. He has an 8-point lead right now after a solid second quarter. 23-15 is your score, with 6.5 minutes left to go to quarter number 3. Ian Nicholas, Brendan Tiscornia, Maddox, Underwood, and the rest of the NCTV crew are going to enjoy the cheerleaders dancing in the middle of the floor.
Yeah,
we'll
we
see
will.
you very soon. Coming to you back to the New Canaan High School gym, Ian Nicholas, Brendan Tiscornia, Maddox, Underwood, and the rest of the NCTV crew bringing you this live action. New Canaan 9-3, the 5 seed in the FCIAC tournament, looking to advance to the FCIAC quarterfinals. And Norwalk, who had a strong first quarter, they were tied after 1, but were outscored by 8 points in the second. They're looking to get back into this game, led by head coach Matt Whelan. But before we talk about how the rest of this game shakes up, let's look at the bigger picture, pull up the FCIAC tournament bracket that we have, and give a little bit of a live update as we see the top of the bracket is all what New Canaan and Norwalk might have to face the rest of the way, but you see that 3-14 game between Staples and Bassick, who didn't even play in a full 12 games this year, is up 9 points at the half. Now, Brendan, Staples has shown signs of vulnerability all year long. Lost to New Canaan on their home floor, got blown out by Richfield to close the season. But the Bassick Lions, can they make a run, and can they pull out a win?
Well, I would say that this is more of a Staples problem because they're too dependent on the three-point shot, especially with a guy like Lucas Bassick. They rely on him to drop 25, 30 points a night, and if he doesn't, then that Staples team is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they do have Derek Sale. He's a solid player. But Staples, they're in trouble right now, and Coach Colin Devine and crew need to have a strong second half to pull it through. Meanwhile, Wilton is up 10 points at the half over Brian McMahon, the crosstown rival of the Norwalk Bears, and that means that if Wilton pulls through, they're going to win that game. If they do, then that means the winner of this game is going to have to play Wilton in the big Zaioli Fieldhouse. Now let's see how this one shakes out. Just about to head into the second half of action.
Zaioli Fieldhouse is a very tough place to play. I mean, in the past, often because of their rowdy student section, but not only that, because it's in a field house.
It's huge.
It ruins your depth perception. So if you're not familiar with playing in there, then it throws you off a little bit.
Well, New Canaan certainly looked like they didn't know how to play basketball there on Saturday when they fell 60-35 to Wilton at Zaioli. Edwards with the bucket, back to a 6-point game, 7:44 left to go in the third quarter. Christian Sweeney, absolutely wide open, rattles it in from the three-point line.
And he sat the entire second quarter there, so it's good to see him getting going in this third quarter of action.
He had 2 early fouls. He had 4 threes last game. That's his first 3 and first points tonight. Simeon on the attack, gets the screen. The kick out is deflected by Sweeney. Looking for more, looking for more. Can't get it to go. Rebound, Huffnagel, missing the putback. Missing again, just plopping it up in the air and losing it to Will Bozzella.
Canaan opened back up in that 2-3 zone. Was wondering if they'd stay in it, and glad they did. They played really well in it.
6:53 left to go in quarter number 3 as Wilson and the team up 9 make it almost up 11. Mulcahy missing an easy one under the hoop.
That's great help defense from Edwards. He recognizes that Huffnagel's been beat by Mulcahy, and he's there to stop Mulcahy from scoring.
The shot fake from Shayer leads to a wide open baseline shot for Huffnagel, and the senior captains are in lockstep. Back to a 7-point game with 6:22 left in quarter number 3, and Norwalk is not going away easy. Looking to pull off their biggest win in years. Wilson can't get that ball. Shayer using all 5'7" of his frame for the steal. The pull-up from the foul line comes up short off the front rim. Rebound, Christian Sweeney. 6 minutes left to go in the quarter. Catch and shoot for Jack Laddick from downtown. The miss and the rebound for Simeon.
And this is, once again, New Canaan's in a place they don't want to be. They don't want to have these short possessions.
Simeon nearly losing it, got on it quickly and got it over to Hufnagel. Moore in the corner. Bozzella fighting for it. Simeon shoved away but regaining his stride and
A lot
now
of
working his way to
contact
the
there. I'm
logo.
surprised they didn't call a foul.
And now an off-the-ball foul.
It's going to be a kickball, Ian.
Kickball violation. Violation, foul. He should, she said. Whatever you want to say. It will be Simeon inbounding from the baseline. Catch and shoot, look for Shayer. Can't come down with it. Rebound for Hufnagel, who's been active in his third quarter. Just under 5.5 left to go in the quarter. And with aggressiveness to the hoop, can't get it to go down, is Edwards. Bozzella looking to thread the needle and another kickball violation.
Bozzella maybe trying to do a little too much there. Fortunate just a kickball violation, though.
It seems like he's really been doing a little bit too much all game. Just looking to do what he does best. Get into the hoop, kick out Christian Sweeney. Looking to can it and can't get his second three. The ball right back into his hands, though, and he commits a charge, so that's his third foul.
Shayer's right there, the senior there to make a senior play in a big-time moment.
Isaiah Gonzalez checks in for Anthony Moore. Christian Sweeney will stay in the game with his 3 fouls. 5:06 left to go in the quarter.
2 of those fouls being on charge is probably a little too out of control and driving this game.
Shayer getting it over to Gonzalez, hesitating. Simeon is stolen by Christian Sweeney on a bad pass, and then Edwards trying to do a little bit of acting there. That ball out of bounds off Shayer, trying to get that steal.
And Edwards nearly drew number 4, and Christian Sweeney's got to be a little more careful in there.
Shayer picked up, Edwards, he had 2 early fouls, but he hasn't gotten in any extra foul trouble since. 4:37 left to go in the third. Laddick over to Will Bozzella. Slowing it down, 7-point lead for the Rams.
Savvy switch by Simeon.
In the corner, left all alone, and Will Bozzella can't make Norwalk pay on the corner 3. Now 1 of 5 from downtown as Edwards looking to use the speed and too much speed. A charge on Edwards.
I didn't see much there, and Norwalk staff not happy with that one. That's going to be Edwards' 3rd foul.
I understand their frustration, Maddox. That's one of your best players. That's 3 on him, and a little bit of an acting job by Bozzella.
Yeah.
Going to the theatrics in the FCIAC tournament. You have to show up in every facet of the game, even in your drawing fouls game. Laddick comes up short on the corner 3. He's had a great game for New Canaan, leads the Rams with 9 points. Baseline, Gonzalez stepped out of bounds, turnover Norwalk. Risky business on the baseline, and it catches up with Norwalk on the turnover, and we're going to have a mass break with 3:49 left to go in the third.
It's been another stagnant quarter for both of these teams. Outside of that early 3 from Christian Sweeney, New Canaan hasn't gotten anything going offensively. They've got to run their offense, and they got it. Even though it's led to a couple turnovers, they got to get the ball to Mulcahy down low and get him some layups.
And really all game long, Maddox, New Canaan's been trying to force the ball into the hands of Dennis Mulcahy, maybe not so much in his third quarter, but they are really trying to rely more on him. Will Bozzella, it looks like he's trying to step his game up more, and that's all because Leo Magnus isn't playing in this game, New Canaan's leading scorer. Let's get a little bit of a look at those first half highlights to see just where things have gone right, but also where they've gone wrong for New Canaan on the offensive end and on all ends. Jeremiah Simeon taking it to the hoop. Norwalk wishes they could say he's had more of those looks. Hufnagel, he's had a solid effort. There's Mulcahy getting it to go down low. Norwalk has nobody that can match up with him. Bozzella hasn't had a great scoring night, but Laddick has been a recipient of a couple really good assists. Back to the floor here.
And for New Canaan offensively, you really got to get Blake Wilson going. He's been held to only one layup tonight, a lot quieter than his 13.5 points per game in his last 6 or 7, I believe.
Yep, he scored double digits in 5 of his last 6. Mulcahy turning it over. He's had a problem keeping his balls on the hands tonight as Edwards misses a wide open shot off the glass. Bozzella taking it to the left. Christian Sweeney with the move, the pull up, the shot, not in. Rebound, Huffnagel.
Yeah, Huffnagel's really held his own in there against Mulcahy. I'm surprised.
Corner 3 for Isaiah Gonzalez. Comes up way short. Rebound, Bozzella.
And watching this game, Huffnagel, he's a tough guy. That's what you're going to have to be when you're going against someone a lot bigger than you.
And that's why he's one of the 2 senior captains for this Norwalk team. The pass batted by Gonzalez, picked up by Edwards. Behind the back move, too smooth, turnover. Bozzella, wide open look from the wing, splashing it in. Irish spring green from a wide open Will Bozzella.
Oh, Ian.
That's what New Canaan hasn't done enough of. That's only the team's 3rd 3 this game. Where basketball is right now, that's a massive part of scoring. And if they really want to contend with teams like Ridgefield, Wilton, and Staples, they're going to have to hit a lot more.
And wide open Will Bozzella there. He needed that bucket, Maddox. He screamed after he got it. He's really had a rough game. What set this up?
Well, it was a first a steal and then good ball movement, and found himself all alone on the wing. And he settled for a lot of outside shots today. I believe that's his 6th 3-point attempt, which is way more than you'll see on a typical night for Will Bozzella. I'd like to see him attack the basket a little more, and maybe he'll be a little more efficient offensively.
New Canaan extends the lead to 10 with 2:43 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Finally looking to pull away with it, but Norwalk in a low-scoring affair. This is exactly the game they wanted to play, but they need to come up with some more buckets down the stretch to try to pull up an upset victory here from New Canaan High. Ian Nicholas, Brendan Tiscornia, Maddox, Underwood, and the rest of the NCTV crew bringing you this live action. Mulcahy, Christian Sweeney, Jack Laddick, Will Bozzella, and Blake Wilson, the 5 starters tonight, all still on the floor for New Canaan. TK Kitt checking into the game for the Bears. He has it now. Simeon, back to Shayer. And fouled, Dennis Mulcahy is going to foul Cam Edwards.
I believe that's actually on Blake Wilson there. Trying to reach in and get the steal.
Yep, you're right, Brendan. That's going to be Wilson's first. A low fouling quarter from both teams, which is what you always like to see. Only 2 from New Canaan, 1 from Norwalk. Edwards goes to the line where he makes his first of the night from the charity stripe. We'll get a second look at that one. The foul, that is. Amani Edwards looking to check back in for the Bears, and the other Edwards, Cam, goes 2 for 2. Simeon a bit shaken up on the boards. He's all right. And Cam Edwards will check out for Amani. Just under 2.5 minutes left to go now in the 3rd quarter.
Norwalk's been running this press all night, but really no success with it. Hasn't forced any New Canaan turnovers.
Wilson over to Bozzella, looking to attack. Brings it back out, working on a mismatch with Shayer. Mulcahy pulls up from the elbow. Tough shot from Mulcahy. Wilson fighting for it, gets back to the ball.
And that's not Mulcahy's shot. He kind of settled there for a mid-range shot. He's better when he's going downhill and towards the basket.
Minute 50 left in the quarter. Blake Wilson at his best when he's shooting. Can't connect there. Rebound for Shayer. Looking to push. Shayer goes up with it. A charge. Will Bozzella set it up.
And that's the second charge in this quarter that Will Bozzella has drawn. It's a big momentum play for New Canaan. It keeps Norwalk from getting an easy bucket, and it adds a foul to one of their best players.
Shayer, his first foul of the entire game. Norwalk's second of the half. Wilson dancing and prancing with TK Kitt. Over to Laddick. 1:30 left in the quarter, and Laddick finds a wide open Blake Wilson, doing him a favor after Wilson found him for a good look earlier on in this game.
Yeah, Blake Wilson hasn't had the best night shooting the ball, but he's been cutting well, and he's gotten 2 easy layups off the cuts.
Shayer pulls up for a 3, misses. Edwards with the rebound, falls to the floor, and loses the ball. Laddick to a cutting Dennis Mulcahy, a mismatch, but good defense from Hufnagel. Great defense from Hufnagel, contesting the shots of both Mulcahy and Bozzella.
Contact on both ends of the floor, both time no call.
Just under a minute left in the third quarter. New Canaan with the double-digit lead. Edwards off the cut. The rim does him no justice. Bozzella up the near sideline, takes it to his left, and a reach-in on Nate Shayer. Griffin Bramwett's going to look to get back into this game for New Canaan. Cam Edwards and Anthony Moore, numbers 1 and 2 for Norwalk, will check in for Shayer and Hufnagel with 44.9 seconds left to go in the third.
Okay, he will come out, and New Canaan will go back to their small ball offense, small ball lineup.
New Canaan looking to add to their lead and make it their biggest of the evening. Bozzella working from the C and the NC logo now over to Wilson.
Just under 30 seconds left. You got to wonder if New Canaan in the small ball lineup's just going to hold for the last shot.
That's something they have been known to do. It's happened in the past many times before.
15 seconds and a foul on New Canaan. What's that going to be, Brendan?
A 5-second violation. Refs are going to call him just for wasting time.
Trying to take up too much clock, as Ned Brady is going to check in for Christian Sweeney for what will most likely be the last possession of the third quarter with just under 15 seconds left to go.
Yeah, Ned's just going to be a big body that they're going to throw down at the bottom of that 2-3 zone.
Norwalk needs a bucket. Can they get it now with 8 seconds left? Simeon over to Moore. Back to Simeon. 3 seconds. Moore of a 3 up, but 3 air balls. That is the end of 3. New Canaan adding on to their halftime lead, extending it to double digits, looking to pull away and advance to the second round of the FCIAC tournament. 31-21 your score. And Maddox, great quarter from New Canaan once again. They've now put together back-to-back really strong quarters, and it has been because of what?
They're playing really well defensively. Norwalk, I should say, hasn't really gotten into any offensive groove, and it's showing on the scoreboard.
And Norwalk was able to compete with a lot of teams this year, Brendan, based really solely off that defense. It's still been there, right? Or has New Canaan finally started to find a little bit of momentum on that offensive side of things?
Well, Norwalk's defense has been there in the half court, but once they get into transition, they're committing a lot of turnovers, and New Canaan's able to convert those into points.
Meanwhile, Cam Edwards really advertised as a superstar athlete, a tough guard, a guy who can get inside, but he's missed a lot of easy looks, Maddox, under the hoop and getting to the basket. He hasn't been able to convert.
Yeah, refs are calling a very physical game, and you kind of expect that. It's just playoff basketball and not a lot of whistles, and it's benefited the Rams.
3 fouls, you expect him to be a little bit hesitant and not really able to get into a groove considering the time he spent on the bench.
New Canaan rolling with the lineup of Christian Sweeney, Griffin Bramwett, Jack Laddick, Blake Wilson, and Will Bozzella. They've only had a 6-man rotation so far this game. Their only player to come off the bench has been Griffin Bramwett outside of that short stint from Ned Brady to end the third quarter. New Canaan up 10. Coach Danny Mauser looking to win his first ever game at New Canaan High School in the FCIAC tournament up against the Norwalk Bears. Pass batted by Gonzalez, stolen by him, and taken over by TK Kitt. In the corner, Cam Edwards finds nobody, and that's going to be a backcourt violation if I ever saw one.
Just a little miscommunication there between him and Simeon. Simeon was looking to cut while Edwards assumed he would stay in the same place.
A very young Norwalk team still trying to find their way through a shortened season with very little preseason. Wilson up to Bramwett. Back over to Wilson, who's had a low-scoring night tonight. after a couple of really big-time games down the stretch for New Canaan, which included a 23-point game in the Rams' last home game last Thursday up against Stanford. Laddick, a really nice finish through contact off a laser beam from Griffin Bramlett.
I believe that's Laddick's first bucket of the second half now, and he's picking it up where he left off in the first.
He really is a surgeon around the basket, very precise and a good finisher despite his small stature.
They're going to get Christian Sweeney for a block. I believe that's his fourth foul.
Coach Tisch says, let's go for a sub, and that sub will be Dennis Mulcahy, who will check back into the game. He's had a strong showing so far in this one.
Dennis still only with one foul, actually, which has been the major weak point of his game.
And a little bit of an update from that Wilton-Brian McMahon game. Wilton up 55-31. Really taking command of that ball game, and it looks like they will surely advance to the quarterfinals, where they will host the winner of this game. Hofnagel, the corner three, showing off the range for the big man. Can't come down with it. New Canaan up 12, 6:38 left to go in this one. That quarterfinal game, by the way, and all the quarterfinal games will be played Friday as Laddick misses for three from the far corner. On the other end, Kitt looks to make them pay for leaving him open, and he rattles in a three bomb.
Yeah,
that's what Norwalk's going to need more of if they want to win this game.
Yeah, as I was going to say, I hope that builds on some momentum for the Bears.
Back to single digits. A 9-point game with 6:07 left in the final quarter. Griffin Bramlett charging his way past TK Kitt and kicking him for letting him get by him.
Very mature play by the young freshman.
Taking his time.
A neophyte, as one would say.
Okay, Walt. This isn't the Knicks telecast. This isn't MSG. NCTV. Hope you like and subscribe. Timeout called. 35-24. 5:48 left to go in the fourth. Norwalk still trailing double digits. And meanwhile, another shocking update from the bracket. It's March Madness in the FCIAC, and I got to say, I'm loving this new playoff format with all the teams getting in. Greenwich, who's the 15th seed in this tourney, is currently up 2.5 up against St. Joe's, who's undefeated for the majority of this year. And a few weeks ago, Greenwich took St. Joe's in the triple overtime. And now in Trumbull, Brendan, the Cardinals are looking to pull it off again.
Well, I mean, this is what's so great about this new playoff format. Normally, in any other year, Greenwich would not even sniff the FCIAC playoffs. They're the 15 seed. I mean, everyone's counting them out in that one, but here they are, up 2 at halftime.
Usually in a normal FCIAC tournament, the top 8 teams based on FCIAC play get in. New Canaan was the 8th seed last year, and they got smacked in the mouth in the first round by 23 points to Richfield in the first round, the eventual champion. Simeon finds Kitt. He goes and spins away from Blake Wilson. 5:21 left to go in the fourth. Norwalk, not much developing. Hufnagel, turnaround shot from the baseline, splashing it in the face of Mulcahy. Back to a 9-point game.
Second time he's hit a shot just like that, hugging the baseline, and Mulcahy not in time on the closeout.
Bramlett to Laddick, exactly 5 minutes left. Laddick, a smart play, not touching it, getting it back. Simeon switches on to Bramlett. New Canaan in no rush with the 9-point lead. Bramlett looking to attack. A slap is heard, but no reach-in is called. Edwards, the Euro, and he's fouled as he hits the floor hard.
New Canaan understandably frustrated, as you can audibly hear that slap. No call. And on the other end, Cam Edwards gets fouled in transition.
We're going to get a second look at that one, as Coach Melzer said, "Are you kidding me? The whole gym heard that, and I will back him up on that." The slap heard around the world. As we're going to get a look at this Cam Edwards free throw before the second look. Cam Edwards free throw, he gets it to go. Back to an 8-point game. Let's look at that. And that was TK Kitt. That probably should have been called for the reach-in. Instead, it's going to be 2 points on the other end for Cam Edwards. He makes his second. 7-point game. Norwalk not done yet. 4:36 left to go in the fourth.
Yeah, I expect Norwalk to ramp up the pressure, down by 7 with only 4.5 minutes left.
Huffnagel checks out. Amani Edwards checking in. Bozzella to inbound, getting it to Griffin Bram with the freshman.
You've only got 10 seconds, but you really got to take your time when being pressed like this.
New Canaan getting it past the half-court line as Bramwick can't find the pass, now finds Bozzella. 4:20 left in the fourth. Working on Simeon, pulling it back out. Bozzella, a wide open lane of a hoop, opens up, and he falls and scores. Timeout, New Canaan.
Great finish there by Bozzella with the left hand. Looks like Coach Melzer called a timeout there.
Brendan, absolutely nobody was left in the paint there. And Bozzella, he took advantage with ease.
Well, Norwalk's greatest strength is their on-ball defense. Look at the way their defenders are. They're leaving their man behind. Cam Edwards just watching the play there. He's not in any help against Bozzella.
And you really need your big-time players to be on high alert right now in the closing stages. Bozzella with that big lay-in, extending the lead to 9 for New Canaan with 4:03 left to go in this one. This will most likely be our last live stream of a boys basketball game at New Canaan High School, unless Brian McMahon surges down 24 points and wins. A gym that has treated New Canaan quite well over the last few years. 3 straight winning seasons for Coach Melzer and his program now. Looking to get their first FCIAC tournament win in years. And if they do pull out the victory, Maddox are most likely going to have to play Wilton for a 3rd time this year. And I'm getting, for New Canaan fans, New Orleans Saints, Tampa Bay Buccaneers vibes, where kick our butt twice, 3rd time we're going to get you. But Wilton, they present a big challenge, especially on the road.
Yeah, New Canaan definitely motivated to get back to play Wilton.
They've gotten better every game they've played this year in Wilton. They started out slow, started out 2-2, I think, and they have not looked back since.
A 1-2 start and a 9-game win streak. They played 21 games, or nope, that's wrong. Recalculating it. They played 12 games in 21 days because their season got off to a slow start. The school shut down because of COVID problems. Our final mass break of the game with 3:56 left to go. Braden Sweeney, the senior, is going to get his first playing time of the game when we return from the break.
What he does best is he's a great defender. He can defend any position 1 through 5. He's a strong kid, great lateral quickness. So really he's a jack of all trades on defense.
Big-time football and lacrosse player as well. Him and his brother Christian heading to the University of Miami next year, not for athletics, but just for academics. 2 great guys who have really been building blocks for this program, especially Christian Sweeney. Been a big-time player over the years for this basketball team, bringing them back from the dumps from a 5-win year in 2016-17, or excuse me, in 2017-2018, to a state championship run and win in 2018-19. It's going to head the other way, trying to inbound it to Cam Edwards, and he had his foot on the line.
Well, that's the 3rd time that's happened tonight. You don't really see that a lot.
Well, you do tonight. As you mentioned, it's happened on numerous occasions as Isaiah Gonzalez is going to check in for Jake Huffnagel. Norwalk down 9, 3:55 left to go in the fourth.
Gonzalez very fast, very good defender, so he's going to be in mainly just for this press.
Bramwitt moves it up. Back to Bramwitt. Laddick to his right, picks up the dribble. Wilson to Bramwitt. Norwalk trying to up its intensity in the late going. Bozzella gets wide open as Simeon falls, and he can't get the open mid-range shot to fall. Simeon on the fast break. Back to him. Simeon, the open 3. And a big-time shot from Jeremiah Simeon.
Great confidence on that shot by Simeon. Clearly in rhythm there.
Just decided to pull it. He's given that up all game long. Big time shot from the junior. Mulcahy swatted from behind by Isaiah Gonzalez, who is going to come up limping.
That was actually Simeon that blocked that shot.
Get a second look at that one. Gonzalez obviously hobbled. Looks like a right leg injury for him. Get one more look. Okay, looks like he had an easy one, and it is going to be Jeremiah Simeon. What a stretch he's had in the last few moments, Maddox.
Yeah, makes a 3 on the offensive end, and then with a huge block on a much taller Dennis Mulcahy on the defensive end.
Norwalk has life again. Still only a 6-point game with 2:49 left to go in the fourth. New Canaan's starting lineup is in, looking to close it out. Mulcahy to his right. Out to Blake Wilson, who's had a quiet game. Bramwood over to Mulcahy. 2.5 left to go. Wilson in the corner. Moore's attacking him.
Moore's
Gets it out
doing
to Mulcahy.
anything to let him get out of that corner.
2:16 left. New Canaan's just doing what they do best. Doing nothing on the offensive end, that is. And not turning it over. Foul's going to go on Norwalk.
It's going to be just their 4th team foul, so if they do plan on fouling down the stretch, they'll still need to pick up 3 more.
Both, yep.
There's not a lot of teams that can defend for a minute at a time. It's very hard, and Simeon got tired there, and he commits the infraction.
Actually, I believe it was on Nate Shayer as the ball is out of bounds. Bad New Canaan turnover. Dennis Mulcahy got a quick break, and all of a sudden, right back in the game. Coach Melzer not pleased. Mulcahy got, maybe 0.9 seconds to sit down and relax, but no time to relax. 2:04 left, and still a 6-point game, and Norwalk with some momentum.
Can't afford those turnovers. Norwalk now with a chance to bring it within 1 possession.
Shayer looking to make something happen. In and out of the hand of Cam Edwards, he regains possession.
Under 2 minutes now.
1:48 to be precise. Edwards meets the wall. That is Dennis Mulcahy, and he forces a turnover into the hands of Bizzella.
Mulcahy, good job of staying vertical there, not jumping, because then it's much easier for Edwards to draw the foul.
Foul will be called on Norwalk. It's going to go on Cam Edwards. Norwalk's 5th foul of the game, 5th foul of the half.
And that's 4 on Edwards, so he's going to stay in the game, but one more knocks him out.
And what could be his last game of his junior season. One of Norwalk's top dogs is going to stay in it. Another foul, but not on Edwards. It will go on TK Kitt with the 1:31 left to go in the fourth.
Norwalk spends 2 fouls, but New Canaan still not in the 1-and-1. Now, one more foul, they will be in the 1-and-1.
New Canaan, meanwhile, they have 4 fouls, so not in any foul trouble as Christian Sweeney will inbound from the sideline. Under 1.5 minutes. New Canaan just in protect mode, conservative mode, keep the lead and advance. Bizzella on the elbow out to Laddick, who's been the star of this game for New Canaan. In an ugly one. 1:15. Mulcahy to Laddick. Open Blake Wilson under the hoop, and Mr. Big Shot comes up big once again.
New Canaan really had no intention of shooting the ball unless they got a wide open layup, and that's exactly what they got right there.
Edwards again nearly turning the ball over. It will be a turnover.
They're going to say that was off Norwalk, but not really sure about that one.
Well, hopefully we can get a second look at both the Blake Wilson bucket and the turnover from Edwards. Laddick, he's been great all night, scoring and playmaking. And then
Those two have had an excellent connection. That's the 3rd time they've linked up for an easy basket.
Well, both of them were the 2 best players on the freshman team last year. And really, those are the 2 guards alongside Aiden Bramlett who are going to lead this program to more and more success.
Griffin Bramwood in.
Jesus, that family must hate me, must they?
Oh, yeah.
Will Bizzella at the line, 52.3 seconds left to go. New Canaan up 8. 1-and-1 opportunity now as Norwalk now 7 fouls. Bizzella, he earns his second. 9-point lead. New Canaan pulling away when they need to the most. Coach Mauser looking to pick up his 98th win as New Canaan's head coach and one of his biggest in his 5 years with the program. Floater from Shayer, way too strong. Rebound, Bozzella. 45 seconds left. Double-digit lead for New Canaan. Mulcahy alone!
Oh, boy.
The botch dunk attempt from Dennis Mulcahy.
Hate to see that.
I love to see the effort.
He's going to laugh it off, but he didn't really have the momentum behind him to get that dunk.
We know he can dunk. It's a shame. And, you know, Coach Mauser, he's going to have plenty to be mad about after this imperfect game from New Canaan. I don't think the dunk is the biggest of his concerns. Just over half a minute left. A good cut from Huffnagel. No finish. Fighting for it down low. Still Norwalk's ball.
Well, Coach Mauser obviously isn't mad at that because he knows all too well that a good finishing dunk can be a dagger in a game like this.
You know, Leo Magnus, he makes it look all too easy. And good news for New Canaan, once they finish this game out, Leo Magnus should be back out of a concussion protocol to play in their Friday game, which now looks like it will be their third game this year up against Wilton. Bucket from Huffnagel makes it an 8-point game, but with 15 seconds left, too little too late for Norwalk.
Yeah, I'd just like to applaud the Rams. I mean, this season, they've really done a much better job in years prior to, you know, conserve late leads, and they do that by making free throws and playing good defense down the stretch.
Congratulations to Coach Melzer and his New Canaan Rams. Coach Melzer has now picked up his 50th win at New Canaan High School. He will be remembered for a long time. I'm acting like he's just been fired or something. He will be remembered for a long time for bringing his program back to its glory days. And an FCIAC tournament win certainly adds to his resume and adds to this team's resume in this tournament. They will advance to the second round, the Elite Eight, if you will. Your final score, 41 to 33. New Canaan wins. And Brendan, not perfect, but a win's a win in postseason play.
Absolutely right, Ian. After this, it's just on to the next one. As you mentioned earlier, very important to have a short-term memory with these types of things, and you got to bring your A game against Wilton, who's playing terrific basketball right now.
And Maddox, to you, it was really Jack Laddick who we were a little bit shocked when we heard he was going to start in this one, considering that he only started one other game prior to this one, but he really showed tonight as a passer and a scorer.
Yeah, there was a point in the game where New Canaan was down 13-10 to this Norwalk squad, and they had a 9-0 run, which really started by Jack Laddick making some outside shots and getting it done by driving the ball, too.
Meanwhile, a little bit of an update on that St. Joe's Greenwich game, that 2:15 matchup. Greenwich led at the half, but St. Joe's is back up in the late stages at the game that after you're done tuning into this one, you probably want to tune into to see if the mighty Cadets will fall. Before we go, let's get a look at those second half highlights, though, from the second half for New Canaan that treated the Rams very, very well.
Huffnagel here making that shot on the baseline. And then here's a steal by Laddick, who gets it over to Bozzella eventually, who drains the corner, or wing three, I should say.
Bozzella, he had a relatively quiet night, but he showed up exactly when the Rams needed him the most. 2 big threes, 1 big layup when Norwalk was coming back to put them up 8, and then those 2 free throws to ice it at the end of the game.
And that big layup there, too, when the defense was spread out, attacked the hoop, got the big bucket. Laddick with this one, really the dagger to an open Blake Wilson. And that was your second half highlights. New Canaan with the win, 41-33. They're now 10-3 on the year, picking up a much-needed win, obviously, to keep their season alive, but following that 25-point Wilton loss, a big momentum changer for them as they look to continue to advance and fight to get as far as they can in the FCIAC tournament. Meanwhile, Norwalk finishing their season at 4-9, finishing their season with 4 straight losses in a young program looking to be on the rise under now 4th-year coach Matt Whelan. We wish them nothing but the best. We thank everybody from both sides for tuning into this one in what has been our last New Canaan basketball home stream of the year. It's been an honor to call these games over the last 3 years. It really has been a heck of a ride covering this program at its finest under Coach Melzer and his crew. But before we sign off for one last time, let's get a look at our sponsors. Walter Stewart's has supported NC Rams athletics in the entire New Canaan community for years. Walter Stewart's is your fresh local market. That was our platinum sponsor. This is our gold sponsor, Club Sandwich. Club Sandwich is New Canaan's destination for fresh sandwiches since 1986. Thank you to our silver sponsors, Performance PT, Educational Futures, the SIG Insurance Agencies, OSSM Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine, Renaissance Partners, and Rand Insurance. And lastly, to our black sponsors, Ready Rooster, Shilala, 84 Sports New Canaan, New Canaan Diner, NC Graphics, the Athletic Shoe Factory, Togs, Dr. Austin Feeney, the Lewis School of Driving, and Prudding and Company Custom Builders. The NC Rams All Sports Booster Club supports all New Canaan High School athletics. Your final from our New Canaan High School gym and our last home stream of the year for basketball, boys or girls, 41-33 your score. New Canaan fighting and advancing. I want to thank my crew for the phenomenal job they did once again, bringing you the live action all year long from this gym. I want to thank our cameraman and woman, Max Alert and McKenna Usher, our producer, Emily Fox, our replay man, Austin Platter, the hockey guru himself, social media, Zayak Avarmu, our advisor, Roman Sobolski, my three-man booth made up of Maddox Underwood, who's come up clutch for us all year long, and our JV basketball analyst, Brendan Tiscornia. For one last time, and before you know, follow me and NCTV on social media for any news on a Wilton stream. You might not have heard the last of me yet, and you're probably like, I hate this Ian guy. I wish I would never hear him again. Well, I'm not going away early. Just like New Canaan, I'm going to find my way to call another one of these games. We'll see how it happens. Make sure to tune in Friday when New Canaan hits the road and plays the Wilton Warriors for a third time this year. And they're going to look to change the result after 2 losses to start their season. And also, we look to bring you a girls basketball stream tomorrow. They're on the road in Danbury for their FCIAC game. And hopefully I'm on the call for that one as well, and we can give you another stream. But if this is the end-all, be-all for me, from me and my basketball tie, Ian Nicholas saying, good night, your final, 41-33. And heck, Bassick is still up 2 points, so why are you still watching this stream? Bassick's up 2 points with 0.7 seconds left. Ian Nicholas saying, good night, you've had enough of me. Have a great one, folks.